Today we're going to take a look at a style of groove that really requires some chops to pull off, and I'm going to give you guys a couple tips along the way that should help you out. Let's do this. What's happening, everybody? I hope all is well. In today's video, I want to share with you guys a couple challenges that I've been noticing that we as drummers face when we try and play fast 16th note grooves. And I want to show you a couple tricks that I've picked up on over the years that really help to lock these kind of grooves in. Let's start by breaking down the groove I just played. So there are a couple things that I find challenging when playing this kind of thing. The first being the technique and endurance required to just pull off those 16th notes on the hi-hat, especially for a long period of time. The second is maintaining a deep pocket, a really nice groove as all of those notes are taking place. So let's talk a little bit about the technical aspect of what's going on in my right hand. And my grip for the most part is between my thumb and index finger. And all of the other fingers are helping out in the action, and they're all pulling the stick into my hand. And I think a great exercise to help you build up that kind of finger strength and finger technique is just singles. Now, another technique you're going to have to get down is this whipping technique that you see me playing on the hi-hat. And I do the same exercise, just 8 on a hand, but I do it with that whipping motion. And that technique you're going to find starts to build up your wrist control and your wrist strength. And I think it's the combination of both finger and wrist that it's going to take to really pull off these 16th note grooves. So I would recommend adding that little 8 on a hand exercise to your regular warm-up routine and see where you're at after just a few weeks of working on that. All right, let's move on to the second thing that I find challenging in performing these fast 16th note grooves, and that is maintaining a deep pocket while all this craziness on the right hand is happening. The real trick for me is maintaining a solid and accurate backbeat on the left hand. And that's kind of tough because my right hand is in the way. It's doing all this and it's covering up my left hand. So that motion that I'm usually using when I'm playing like 8th note based grooves where I lift up and have a nice solid crack on the snare, that is being inhibited by this pattern on the right hand. So over the course of time, I've watched some other drummers deal with this problem, and I've come up with some kind of tricks, you could say, in dealing with this issue. The first trick that I learned was burying the left stick into the snare drum head when I play rim shots. So I'm just playing a normal rim shot, but I'm hugging the stick against the snare drum head afterwards. And what that allows me to do is get a lot of momentum and a lot of velocity in a very short space. So I don't have to do that big wind up to get a nice crack from the snare drum. And you could say that that's bad technique or bad form or something, but I've seen a ton of the world's best drummers use that technique, and it sounds fantastic. The The second trick I learned is to take a couple of the 16th notes out of that pattern on the hi-hat to make room for the left hand to wind up. This method also has the added benefit of allowing your right hand to rest just a little bit, and that allows you to play that pattern for a lot longer than you would have been able to if you kept all the 16th notes in. The final trick I learned was to move your right arm far enough away from your body to where your left arm is able to do that wind up, while at the same time you're still maintaining that pattern on the right hand. You just gotta make sure that you move your right arm out far enough so you don't knock your hand with your left stick. I've done that before, I've done it a few times, and it freaking hurts. So give these 3 tricks a try in your next practice session and let me know which one was the most effective for you. Which one really helped you lock in that groove? I would love to hear your feedback. But that's gonna do it for me, everybody. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and give me a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. You take it easy. Bye-bye.